There is a parallel, but there's sort of a tricky hurdle you have to overcome where because I was a dancer, I pick up choreography very quickly.
Okay.
But because I'm a dancer, I'm used to having to make everything look elegant. So when you had to look fierce, it didn't feel right.
Okay.
So it was really sort of finding a way to be grounded and like flat on your feet as opposed to up on your toes. And, truthfully, the first day or two, I remember someone saying, overhearing someone say, like, well, thank God she's a good actress. Because the first couple of days, I think the fighting was pretty cringeworthy. But truthfully, it's because I was afraid of hurting somebody. I had never in my life, in my real life,
Stabbed
I had never
anyone? No.
Well, only on Wednesdays. But since this wasn't a Wednesday, I was off my game.
Okay.
But there was a mistake in the choreography one day and I got hit pretty hard. And it's the first time I'd ever taken a hit. And I'm so lucky that happened because it really changed everything for me because suddenly I thought, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
And if I can take it, they certainly can because they're the professionals because you always fight against your stunt double or against the other person's stunt double. So, I just also came to understand the idea that the fighting looks lame unless you're giving it 100%.
You have to bring it. Oh, yeah. You have to bring it. And
completely.
You did. You did it so well that what you're telling me is shocking because I can't imagine you falling elegantly or whatever you're describing right now because you're a badass. And it kind of translated to the roles that you took in the future because you're constantly you're in this balance of being evil and good or this dimensional character who's so dark sometimes and scary, frankly.
No, it's true. I've realized the older that I've gotten and just seeing the roles that come to me that not only do I have a bit of an action thing that sort of leans towards my work, but it really is about women that have sort of a secret side of themselves.
Yeah.
So I play a lot of characters in transition where you will see this beautiful daily life and then the secret hidden past they have or, this...
That's what makes them so good.
Absolutely. I think because as human beings, we all have so many layers and we're so multifaceted naturally.
Sure.
So when you get characters like that on screen, it's such a gift.
It's so believable, and you've garnered fans from all over the world. Xena, in particular, we were talking off mic a little bit about the conventions that have been happening since, 20 years now?
Almost, yeah.
And I went to my very first one this last year past, and I sit down and talk to some of the ladies who told me they'd been coming for 10, 15 years, and they had made these incredible relationships with other fans of this genre, and I was fascinated by that. I was like, it was just unique. What have been some of the experiences you've had that have blown your mind with your fans, your fandom, since you're in sci-fi or in this fantasy world? I'm sure you've had some pretty amazing experiences.
Oh, they run the gamut. My experiences, I should first say that 99% of the experiences are amazing. I mean, the idea that anyone is a fan is still mind-blowing to me. It's kind of absurd and of course it's wonderful and I'm so incredibly grateful. It's also strange. Partly it's strange because they're not necessarily a fan of you. They're a fan of the you that they think they know. Okay. So it's, of the characters that you've played or even if it might not even be that specific. It might simply be that at the moment they watched that particular performance, they were going through something in their life that you helped them through or that they related to, and it gives you a special connection that you weren't even aware of. So you get this gratitude when you get that face-to-face feedback because unless you're doing theater as an actor, you never
would normally
have that.
Get, yeah.
Exactly. But I will say that I tend to have... really extraordinary experiences in my life. Things get, and I don't know if it's because
you're beautiful, baby.
Well, thank you for that.
I'm just saying.
But I honestly don't know if it's that other people just don't even notice as much as I do, because I'm sort of hyper aware of these things. But nonetheless, odd experiences tend to come to me.
I don't know why people are paying attention to me, really.
Well, I will say this. I was at a convention one time, and I was doing a meet and greet with a lot of people in a room, and I was sort of going table to table, introducing myself. and walked up to a table where this woman was wearing a shirt that was backless, and across her back she had this line of really amazing tattoos that were all characters that she loved from various shows.
Wow.
And really intricate, beautiful tattoos. And of course I immediately mentioned how extraordinary they were. And the rest of the table immediately said, show her the other one.
Oh, God.
And I thought, I wonder what that's about. And she sort of hemmed and hawed, and they kept encouraging her. And so then she stood up and unbuttoned her pants. And I sort of thought, well, wait a minute, what's happening here? And then she starts to lower her pants. And
oh, yeah.
And all I will say is that there was a very intimate tattoo of Livia. Yes. And so she was a very big fan. And I thought, oh, my God,
flattered?
I don't know.
Were you flattered or what? What was your reaction?
In hindsight, I'm tremendously flattered. At the time, I had not been prepared to be that intimate with a stranger.
Adrienne, have you any idea how painful it is to have a tattoo on your girlfriend down there? Seriously? I mean, that's the greatest sacrifice I could ever think of, right?
Right. It definitely was commitment, that's for sure.
That's some great fan out there. Oh, man, shout out to the tattoo girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Love you, honey.
She does. She does. I do think sometimes, there's a thin line between fantasy and you. I think you handle it very well, and you just be ready for more, because just about every character you choose brings on this life of its own, where people are, they escape into this fantasy where you're holding a sword, or you're driving a ship through the atmosphere. I mean, you're doing things. And so look for some more tattoos to come. I'm just,
oh, Lord.
I'm just saying. But what's really cool is that not only do they show their loyalty by coming to the conventions, they show their loyalty by, tattooing their important places. But they're also very generous. You're involved in so many charities to begin with, and thank you for that, your generous spirit. You do something every year. Can you share more about that?
Absolutely, I can. I just sort of feel anyone who's in the position to have attention is sort of obligated to use it for good.
Sure.
And one of the things that I've been able to do is not only donate time or energy towards various causes that I support, particularly animal and children's welfare, but on my own, I have done an event every year for about 10 years now. Sometimes it was an auction, sometimes it was a dinner, sometimes it has recently been a cocktail party, where I have been raising money for families that are dealing with overwhelming medical expenses.
That's beautiful.
And well, it's something that...
Especially in the economy the way it is right now. Yeah.
Exactly. It's everyone knowing immediately that they're doing something good. Every one of us at some point in our lives needs help. Right. So when you're in a place that you can give it, it's great for everyone.
Absolutely.
And I just think having a happy heart gives you a happier life. So, it's just adding to it.
Quote unquote. I love that. I love that how generous you are, and your fans are a reflection of you, really.
Well, I would say without a doubt, and I think the fans every year shock me and surprise me with their generosity, and just not only that, but their enthusiasm, and not only that, but the guests that are involved. I mean, I have actor friends from a variety of projects that do these.
Yeah, you bring everyone together,
and it's such a great night. It's such an incredible experience, and just it's fun for everyone. It's a night that is full of joy, and I love that. This year I was also part of a book that I would love to give a shout out to called In the Tub, which is